people.
Hey, how's it going? Okay, so first a confession. I have no concept of time. Like an internal time where, like, I can keep rhythm, whatever, you know. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about I don't know how long things take. And I already recorded this video once, and it was 40 minutes long. And I didn't realize it until after I was watching it to like edit it and being like, oh, this is 40 minutes long. So I'm gonna try to do this. I'm gonna have to break it up basically, because I was gonna do this whole stack of books that I found in the dollar bin, but I can't do that. There's just too many books. So I'm gonna concentrate on just two. And we'll do the other ones later, some other time. So I'm gonna start here. So these are this whole stack is from a store called Ides in Pittsburgh, which is a huge comic book store, and it's 3 stories. So it's like, if you wanted to find anything, you can probably find it there. And Pittsburgh actually has a really good amount of comic stuff. There's Phantom in the Attic, there's Copacetic, which is amazing. There's just so many. There's so many places, even bookstores have them and stuff. But anyways, it's a college town. Hey! Anyways, so I'm going to start with this. This is Sandman Mystery Theater, which I found in the dollar bin. And so a short little thing about dollar bins. So comics that in the past were overprinted, perhaps for like a series or whatever, or just didn't do very well for some reason. Sometimes like first issue, for example, of a series comes out and does well, sells a lot of copies, and then as it goes, it kind of sells less and less, depending on what it is as the audience either drops off or whatever, because people love first issues, but maybe then they don't, they're like, oh, okay, the first issue didn't grab me, so I'm not going to get the second one. So anyways, there's lots of overprints of series, and if you go to like a bigger comic shop, they'll have back issues, but they'll also have like maybe a $1 bin or 50-cent bin or even a quarter bin, and those are magical because you can find amazing stuff in them, and I kind of love doing that. I love going there and getting bargains, but also finding things that I never knew existed because they didn't do well in the mainstream of comics, whatever that means. But there's certain people I always will just pick up because I'm just like, wow, I didn't know this person did this. Okay, so this is kind of a version of that. So I'm a big fan of Guy Davis. Guy Davis, it depends on what generation you're from, really, because you might have learned about Guy Davis from this series, the Sandman Mystery Theater, which is vaguely related to Sandman, or The Sandman, which has a TV show now. But and they do like a little overlap, I think there's some interaction with the characters. Dream is the actual character in The Sandman, but the goth character. But this is Guy Davis, and so you might have been exposed to Guy Davis for the first time if you've been reading comics for a while in this series, because he did a long run on it, and he kind of made it its own. So, and this is interesting, if you're not familiar with Guy Davis, you might be like, this is, it's kind of scratchy, kind of, I don't know. But, so for me, this is not where I got exposed to Guy Davis. For me, I got exposed to Guy Davis here, which is BPRD. With Mike Mignola, and John Arcudi was writing a lot of these, and this is what his art looked like. This is 2000 sometime, maybe. I don't even know what year this is actually, but obviously the style has changed, and he kept changing the style. His style kept evolving, getting better and better. I think better and better. He got more confident and more conservative with his line in a way. His cartooning got better, facial expressions, all that stuff. His monster design got way more interesting over time, I think. And the top of the heap for that would be if you can find sorry, I mean, if you can afford his series, The Maquis, which runs for like $150 online, unless you get like floppies. You can get like individual issues of it, but like a collection of it sometimes will be very expensive. Unless you get it from like a different country and you don't want to read it. But that's like the top tier Guy Davis in, yeah, I think. I don't know. But anyways, so I picked up this book and I was like very excited because I'd not seen this kind of era, and I did not grow up on this series. I did not pick these up, so I was like, wow, this is cool. And then the same day, in the same, like, just picking up stuff, I found this one, which is about 10 years later after this. And I'd never heard of this series. I think there's 3 issues. And this is a lot closer. This is BPRD, like, kind of level now going on, and it's already changed. The style has changed. His like faces have changed, and it's very, like, his designs are cool. He's like, I really like the kind of interesting mechanics he's using, and the kind of like construction of bodies and all this stuff that, like, he just got better at it. He just got much better at it. So that was just a cool find, and I love picking up books just because it's an artist I know. I'm curious what they used to do, what they used to look like. So, but like I said, I like Guy Davis, and so I tracked down long ago now. I tracked down this, which is Legend Lore, which is basically kind of like ElfQuest-y. But this is Caliber Press, and Caliber Press actually also put out The Maquis, and also this book right here, Baker Street, which is also Guy Davis, very good. But this is maybe Guy Davis's first published comics. I'm not sure. He's not doing the inks here, so inks kind of change. And you can see his construction of faces is completely different. He's figuring stuff out. He doesn't. This is like, it feels like a late high school kind of look, but it's very, like, it starts getting more interesting as he gets more later on. You kind of almost see him just get better and better as he's doing it. So obviously this series took a while to draw, and he's just like, there's obviously some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles feel to it. That's all in the air. This is, what year is this? 87? So, and then, like, that's 87, and then this is 1993. So, like, 6 years in between these, right? Like, and it's a huge, like, it's a leap. Like, this to that, and then to this, and to that, right? Or, like, to this and that. And this is also very cool. This one is a lot of screen tones going on, and that's actually something in black and white. That's another thing that happens in The Maquis, which I don't have due to financial reasons. But it's good storytelling, which is the key. And then a bonus thing that I have, I don't have all of his stuff, but I have these, which are they're in French, but I have these because I actually traded with John Arcudi. I did him a drawing, and I'll put it up somewhere. Maybe I'll put up a drawing that I did for John Arcudi here, and he sent me these books. But this is very, like, very good. I like this a lot. I can't read it, but I think there are versions of it in English that I can find, and some they may be. But this is one of those things where, like, I stumbled on Guy Davis because of BPRD, but I think it's important to say that, like, one of the things about collecting comics, for example, is there's so many. You can't know about every artist. You can't get all the books. You can't. There are series that run there's like Batman's been ran for like 500 something issues. You can't get the whole run of something. It's nonsense. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. You're gonna fill up your house, and then when you have to move, you're gonna have to move those things. Like, I still have comics in Michigan because I just can't find the time and the space to drive them back when I go up there. So they're in my mom's basement, which is appropriate for comics, right? Really fun. But anyways, so I think that's one of the things that I want to talk about is also like I'm pretty happy with the idea of picking up random things and finding random stuff in like a person's career, especially if you like what they do. Because it's interesting to see where somebody started, right? Like how somebody evolved. Like another great example of this is somebody like Jay Lee, who is now like a premier level artist and all this stuff, but he started out and his style was completely different. But you can find those old books, like the Wildcats thing and something else. And the first run of Hellshock was also very different from the second run of Hellshock, where he started using a lot more reference and all this stuff. So it's just interesting, and I think it's humbling, and also in a way it can keep your confidence up, because especially if you're like an artist of any sort, you're gonna run into the situation where you think like, oh my god, this person is so amazing, this artist can draw anything, it's made like a Kim Jong-gi or something, right? Like you're like you know, and he just died a few days ago now, which is messed up, sucks. But you know, like somebody I posted about him and somebody was like, I didn't know about this artist, and you know, and in a way I'm like, oh, that's too bad, you know, I wish you did while he was alive and all this stuff. But at the same time, it's like you can't know about every artist. There's just not enough, literally there's not enough time in your life to read every book, to know about every artist, to watch every movie, to listen to every album. You know, it's like you have to pick and choose. And you know, people are like upset, what do you mean you haven't seen Stalker? What do you mean you're not a real movie fan? It's like, no, that's not what's going on. It's just like, yeah, I haven't seen Stalker, but I watched like something else like 20 times because I loved it so much, right? Like something spoke to me. And I think that's like one of the things that I think people forget, is that like you have a limited amount of time, limited attention, and let's say you right now want it to really like grow, like people like skim through things. Like people don't all the way, like if I'm watching something sometimes, like a TV show, I might have it on in the background as I'm drawing, but I'm not really taking in the thing. Like I'm not really consuming it in a meaningful way. Like I'm hearing it and I look up once in a while. That's not a way to actually like engross yourself in something. Like when's the last time you engrossed yourself in something? Like put on headphones and listen to a whole album from start to finish, right? Like it's a lot. And there's this like fear of like missing out, right? FOMO online. And you're just gonna have to like live with it, because you're gonna miss out. Like the day after you die, something amazing from your favorite artist is gonna come out, and you're gonna be like, damn it, I wish I hadn't died. But anyways, so that's my advice, is don't overthink this. Just like, if you dig something, like obviously I dig Guy Davis, and by the way, Guy Davis now makes real money. Like I doubt he made real money here, you know, despite how like popular BPRD might be, or Sandman now is, whatever, because he now works in movies. He designs monsters and stuff for like Del Toro movies and stuff, like Pacific Rim. He worked on like designs for that. So anyways, bye.